Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022 and 2023. Commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start today's session, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue to today's commemorations. As we know, daily we are commemorating various international, national, and local events. Yeah, as usual, we have few commemorations for the day, though not at international level. We have at national level. So we have a session by Mr. Muthiah Ramanathan. He is founder and director, Mind Dynamics Center, Chennai. He specializes in transactional analysis, hypnosis, psychology, and neuro-linguistic programming. And he has over 30 years of experience and presented training programs on all aspects of personality development, and is also author for 2 bestseller books. And he also presented in-house training programs in various countries like Malaysia, Sri Lanka, and also online training programs in USA. So sir would be presenting on Let Us Rewrite Our Life Story. So we will welcome you, Muthiah sir, for this wonderful international webinar series. You can unmute yourself and start your video and presentation.
So all of us have got a life story like a movie story. And based on this story, our life is being run. Who wrote this story? I wrote it. And when did I write it? When I was hardly 5 or 6 years old. And what is happening with the life story? Based on the life story, my life is being run today, yesterday, and for the rest of my life. Till such time, when I was 5 or 6 years old, I wrote the life story. And then for the next 70, 80 years, I am running my life based on the life story that I have already written over there. And people do not believe that, because whatever I have written there, it's all there in the subconscious mind, unconscious mind. Tamil chonna adimanam, almanam, ulmanam. In that context, no matter how much you try with your conscious mind, you may not be able to recover or understand or recall or remember that you have written it, and you wrote it and it is in the unconscious. Because being in this room and covered by all the 4 walls, I will not be able to see what is happening in the next room. Similarly, using your conscious mind, you will not be able to understand that there is something else called unconscious mind, and unconscious mind is processing or running your life, right? So this is a part of this is called script analysis, and it is a part of transactional analysis by Dr. Eric Berne, E-R-I-C, Eric Berne, B-E-R-N-E. Part of transaction analysis, and it's called script analysis. And here I am the way I am today. I'm running my life the way I am running today is all because of the story that I wrote yesterday. And as I told you earlier, it's 5 or 6 years old, I wrote the story. What was the data that I had? What was the resources or options or choices that I had at that point of time? Nothing, very nearly nothing. All that I have had in order to create the story was only my feelings and emotions. And the moment I came out of my mummy's tummy, I started crying, and then my mummy picked up and took care of me, and then she gave me milk, and then I thought, okay, it's all right. So I started with a feeling, and I'm living with feelings. And for about 5 or 6 years, all that you do, how do you connect with the world is simply connecting with your mummy, daddy, because your mummy and daddy are the ones who are the world for you at that point of time, for the little one. And by the time the baby is 5 or 6 years old, the thinking faculty slowly starts emanating, and then we may be able to take some decisions a little later. But then I'm saying 5 or 6, you took a decision purely based on feelings. So now that I have the feelings there, now that I wrote a story there, every day in the morning when I get up without my awareness, without not knowingly, unknowingly, or unawarely, or unconsciously, what I do is to open up the script that I wrote, the story, life story that I wrote. And then based on the life story, whatever the content was there, whatever the script is telling me, I set up the camera, I become the hero or the heroine, I create some villain, I create some comedians, I create other people in the neighborhood, in the family, or in the organization, or in the society. And then what happens is I rearrange them in such a way, they will respond to me in the way in which I wanted them to respond. I am the director, I am the financier, I am the producer, I am the hero, I am the one who created everybody else. So, and then consciously what I do is I attend some training program or read some book or get some advices, or a mentor tells me what to do, what not to do. And then consciously I think in terms of how can I change my life? And the beauty or the irony is no matter how much you try to change your life, you will not be able to change your life, because every day in the morning, again and again, what you do is to open up the script book that you wrote. In between, whatever you do in between, that doesn't work. That's all in the conscious. So again and again, what happens is your unconscious mind is running your life, and you will not be able to change anything in your life, any of your actions or any of your functioning or any of your performance or any of your communication or whatever, right? In that context, we need to know why am I the way I am and what can be done about it, and how do I understand the script that I have written earlier, and how do I get connected to it, and how do I process the whole thing, and based on the programming that I have, this is the way I'm going to be, and if this is the way I don't want to be, I can get in touch with the script and I can change the script, I can change my life today. So that's all the overall idea of this training program or this 1 hour lecture is. Right, coming back. And it's an ongoing program, and it's a live drama, and it directs where you need to go, and it directs all the important decisions in your life, right? You are spending your whole life in a predetermined way based on the decisions you made in your childhood when you were too young, and you were too young to make decisions, and they remain in the unconscious, and all your actions and performances emanate only from those decisions, and they are all rationalized based on your irrelevant grounds or non-relevant grounds. Something happens and this is the way you act, and you should not have acted that way, or you should not have said what you said, and then you somehow manage to rationalize. We jovially, we say, people rationalize through rational lies. You often rationalize in order to justify whatever you did earlier. The ultimate goal of all our actions or all our behavior is to see that whatever decision was made in the script that is being enacted here today, and then we will come to that script payoff or script goal or script target, or whatever the script tells you where it should end, that's where it comes to end. And scripts evolve based on feelings and survival instincts. And survival instinct happens only in your mummy daddy university. Don't check up the internet. There is no such phrase called mummy daddy university anywhere in the world. It's my creation. You were brought up in your with your mummy daddy basically, or if not mummy daddy, we call them as authority people or significant people or people who have control over you, or people who have the power to give you what you want or not give you what you want, or people who have the power to punish you or not punish you also, right? So you were brought up in your mummy daddy university. So let us take it a little later on 20-25 years old. You went to a college and you studied engineering, and you became an engineer for the rest of your life. You acted as an engineer. You went to medical college and you became a doctor, and for the rest of your life, you acted as a doctor. You went to law college and then you became an advocate or a lawyer, and then for the rest of your life, you acted as a lawyer. Similarly, in the same context, I tell you, first 5 years, you were brought up by your mummy, daddy, or uncle, auntie, or grandfather, grandmother, or whoever was there in the family environment. They were the ones. It's usually, I call them as mummy, daddy university. And the mummy, daddy university, in 5 years' time, they brought you up, they taught you something. They taught you very many things based on emotions and feelings alone. And then in order to survive in that environment, you took some decisions, you became qualified. How do I make my mummy happy? How do I make my daddy happy? How not to irritate mummy? How not to irritate daddy? How to survive in this hostile environment called all the other people were giants. You were the tiny little one. And you looked at mummy, mummy was 5 feet tall, 5.5 feet tall. And daddy was there, daddy was 5.5 feet tall and 6 feet tall. And they were 50, 60, 70, 80 kg heavy. And they were all doing whatever they wanted to do. They were all on their own. And you were the tiny little one, maybe 1 year old, maybe 2 years old, maybe 3, 4, 5 years old. You were the tiny little one, maybe 2 feet tall, maybe 3 feet tall, maybe 30 pounds or 40 pounds. And then you thought, I don't fit into this area. I am not okay. Others are okay. I am always dependent on them. They can punish me. I cannot punish them. They can shout at me. I cannot shout at them. So I was born here wrongly, or I was designed here wrongly. So we started with an inferiority complex. And how do I compete with other people? And then by and by what happened was there is also an elder brother, or there is also an elder sister, or there was a possibility that would be an younger brother and a younger sister also. In this environment, how do I get what I want? How do I compete with my elder brother and sister? Or how do I manage my younger brother and sister? So you were always put into some area, uncomfortable situation, inconvenient situation wherein you were not okay. And by, whatever I could do in order to get whatever I wanted with these people, or how do I survive with these people, mummy, daddy, or brothers and sisters, you evolved something purely based on your feelings, right? And there is something else called family environment, wherein in this environment, supposing I wanted a candy or I wanted a chocolate, and mummy said, nothing do, you cannot get a chocolate. I am not giving you a chocolate or ice cream. At that point of time, I felt very bad. I really wanted an ice cream or a chocolate, and mummy said, nothing doing, she's not giving me. So what I did was I started crying. I'm a boy and I started crying. My mummy came over and said, are you not a boy? Are you not ashamed of crying? How can boys be like this? Then I thought, being a boy, crying is not okay. And mummy daddy university says it is out of syllabus. So now I thought, if crying does not work, let me throw a tantrum. And then I started throwing things around, shouting, throw a tantrum around. And then mummy said, okay, don't shout, don't shout, take the chocolate. And then I realized, if I am a boy and if I throw a tantrum, I will get what I want, because that is what got me 10 marks for that question, right? Similarly, a girl might have asked for an ice cream, and mummy daddy did not give the ice cream to the girl. And the girl thought, now is high time. I will start throwing a tantrum, and she shouts and she throws things around and she slams the door and all. And immediately mummy comes over and says, is this the way to behave? If this is the way you behave, what will your mother-in-law think of me when you get married? About think of me. Mother-in-law is non-existent. She comes into play only 20, 25 years later. And what will she think of? Not you. What will she think of me? Is this the way to bring up a daughter? So in order to save my name, in order to see that I am a very good mother, and I need to get the endorsement or a certificate or an acknowledgement or an appreciation from the mother-in-law, your future mother-in-law, in order to get that, you need to behave today. The other point, 20 years later, somebody else will come and somebody else will give me a certificate. For me to get that certificate, you need to behave today, not asking for ice cream, not throwing a tantrum now. And then this little girl realizes that if this doesn't work, she goes, sits in the corner and she is sulking or she is sad. And if she is sad, her mummy ignores. And then she starts crying. Mummy comes and says, this is Friday, this is evening, this is the time Lakshmi visits home. And this is not the time for a girl baby to cry. And then mummy gives chocolate or ice cream. And then the girl realizes, anytime I cry, I will get what I want. In the evening, if I cry, when Lakshmi comes, I'll get what I want. And Friday evening, if I cry, I will get whatever I want. And she learned something new. And she got 10 marks for this answer. Sometimes you played mischief and your daddy said, aha, that's wonderful. He is like me, he is mischievous. And then being mischievous is being encouraged in some families. If you are mischievous, your daddy will come and slap you, and then you said, being mischievous is not okay, and then you will remain quiet. So if you show a sad face, some people will give you what you want in some families. If you cry, some families will give you. If you remain quiet and silent as a nice boy, some people will give you something. If you are really mischievous, some people will give you something. If you cry, some people will give you something. If you throw a tantrum, some people will give you something. And based on the way in which your mummy daddy brought you up, based on the way in which mummy daddy gave you whatever you wanted, you decided this worked. And whatever worked in your family, and you thought because of your qualification, only with your law degree, you can go to only court and argue, milord. A doctor can only go to a clinic or a hospital and work with people who are called patients. And everyone has got a set of people. So whatever worked in your family environment, you took it to outside and then you started playing there. But the irony or the beauty is it did not work much. But then you did not know anything else. All that you know is only law because you're a lawyer. All that you know is only medicine because you're a doctor. All that you know is engineering because you're an engineer. All that you know is whatever your mommy daddy gave you in 5 years. That became your lifestyle. Whether it worked or not, you were still continuing with it. At that point of time, whatever your mommy daddy told you, that worked. How to get something from mommy daddy, that became your pattern of life, that became your lifestyle. Originally, as a boy, you wanted to cry, but then that was the real emotion or authentic emotion or the genuine emotion. But then the genuine emotion did not get you what you want. So you created a racket feeling, or you created a substitute feeling, or you created an alternate feeling, or you created a favorable feeling which gave you what it wanted. That was not your original feeling at all. As a boy, I really wanted to cry. That was the system in which I was. That was my real, genuine, authentic feeling. But then that did not get me whatever I wanted. So what I did was, I blocked my genuine, authentic, real feeling. I started expressing the permitted feeling by my mummy, daddy. What was permitted? Anger was permitted for a boy, as a boy. And then I realized anger is my real feeling. This became my pattern. This became my lifestyle. And then I started believing that this is my true nature. And family members also started believing that this is my true nature. And people around me also started believing that this is my true nature, which is not my true nature at all. Originally, I wanted to cry if I did not get what I want. Similarly, I'm not simply saying boy should cry or girl should shout. I'm simply giving you an example. An alternate could be being mischievous or being calm, or having a sulking face, or sitting in a corner, or going about playing outside, moving out of the area. Any possibility could be there, but whatever possibility got you whatever I wanted. And then you started these substitute feelings, these fake feelings, these inauthentic feelings, these unreal feelings are the real ones, which are not the real ones. So you are not truly connected to your true self. You are putting on an act, you are putting on a mask, you are putting on a persona, P-R-S-O-N-A. Persona is a mask. Based on the persona only, we created a system called my personality and your personality, and my personality interacting with your personality. I have a mask and you have a mask, and both the masks are talking to each other, and there is a real self in me, there is a real self in you. You and I are never really connected to each other. What we do is to put on an act connecting with each other, calling it as relationship or communication or getting along with each other, or a teamwork in the organization. Right? Coming back. There is a definition for the script. And the script is an unconscious life plan based on early childhood experiences, reinforced by parents or parental figures or significant people, justified by subsequent events, directing the most important aspects of your life and leading to your predetermined chosen alternative or a payoff. I come by one, do not worry. We will take it word by word, right? Script is an unconscious plan, unconscious life plan. It's a plan, and then it's a life plan, meaning it's a plan not for today. Plan to go to a hotel, restaurant and eating chapati. No, that's not it. It's a life plan, meaning for the entire life I created a plan. And it is not in the conscious, it is in the unconscious. And it is based on early childhood experiences. As I told you earlier, 5 to 6 years, I formed all the, I got all the experiences, and I decided what worked with my mummy, what did not work with my daddy, right? And then reinforced my parents. And whenever I did whatever they wanted, they appreciated me, they congratulated me, they patted me on my back, they picked me up, they kissed me, hugged me, and they gave me whatever I wanted. I thought, this is the way it shall be, right? And then justified by subsequent events every time, because whatever worked, to go a little outside and give you another example, I really wanted to go for fishing. I wanted fish to cook and eat. So I went to one lake, and I was putting on the whatever the Tundil Kano page solanga. The So I was waiting there, fishing in the lake, but then I could not get any lake there, any fish there. Next day, I went over to another lake. I waited there. I could not get any fish. And the third day, I went over to one another lake. I was trying to get a fish. I did not get. Fourth day, I went to another lake and I was fishing there. I got 10 fishes. Now, the fifth day, what will I do? Will I go to the first lake or the second lake or the third lake or the fourth lake? The 3 lakes did not give me any fish and it's a waste of time going there. So I went to the fourth lake and where I got 10 fishes. The fifth day I went to the fourth lake and got some more fishes. Similarly, whatever emotion that you express, whatever emotion got you the fishes, whatever emotion got you the results that you wanted, then that became your fishing area, that became your fishing lake, that became your pastime, that became your everything, that became your lifestyle, right? So justified by subsequent events, directing all the important areas of your life, meaning all the important areas of my life, meaning getting in touch with people, relating with people, communicating with people, taking some decisions, changing some course of life, or joining an office, or joining a course, or getting along with superiors, and choosing my career and all those things, all important areas of my life are decided by this. And Dr. Eric Berne also used to say that based on the life script you already decided, when you will die also, how you will die also. Now you may not agree with me, you may be surprised or shocked getting to know this, but then Dr. Eric Berne says, by the time you are 5 or 6 years old, you have decided how long to live, when to die, and how to die also. Right? Coming back. Justified by subsequent events, directing the most important areas of your life, leading to your predetermined, already determined at 5 or 6, predetermined, chosen alternative or a payoff, meaning the goal. This is the goal, and if you play football, your idea is to take the goal to the opponent's goal net and then net the goal. Similarly, you already created your life story, and the life story has got an ending, and it has got to go at that ending only. So it's based on the script, and it was influenced by your early parental figures or significant people. It could be a school teacher also, pre-KG, LKG, UKG teachers also. And then based on that, you created a program. Program meaning set of processes, set of ideas, programming. And the way in which you play cricket, or the way in which you play football, the way in which you play any game, there is a set of program. So there will be an opponent. If it is cricket, there will be 3 sums here and 3 sums over there, and the batsman will be here, and the bowler will be there, a runner will be there, and then a wicket keeper will be there, and close fielding people will be there, and the extended area, some people will be there, and the bowler will keep bowling the ball, and then you'll be hitting the ball. When you hit the ball, it goes crosses across the line, it becomes a 4, and it goes in the sky and crosses across the sky, it becomes a 6. It's called a program. So it's a process, and you need to abide by all the rules of the cricket game. Similarly, here also you created a program. If I do this, I will get that. So with that program, you work on. And then there is a compliance, meaning if only I put the program into action, I will get whatever I want. The program is there, cricket is there. If I'm willing to obey the rules, if I'm willing to connect with the people, all the boys around, then all the girls around, then I will go inside the ground. I am given permission to play along with them. So I complied with them. All the important behaviors are decided in this area, and then I end up with the goal that I have already created. All the scripts will fit into this formula, meaning there will be a script, there will be every parental influences, there will be a program, there will be a complaints, and there will be important behaviors, and there will be an ultimate chosen alternative end. So how does it all happen? The formation of script, there are 2 different kinds of theories available here. And one of them says our life course is decided by 4 interacting forces or 4 interacting factors. Interacting may be interesting also. Number 1, it is called heredity. Heredity meaning it is my mummy, daddy, and they have had a sexual relationship, and daddy transferred sperm to mummy, and the sperm identified the ovum, and they got fused together, and then they became a zygote, and then they started doubling. That was the time of my birth, right? So at that point of time, After the sexual act, mummy, daddy, the sperm and the ovum met and zygote got formed and it started doubling and the life got formed. That was the time heredity started acting, and you cannot change your heredity any longer. It's over. Before mummy, daddy had sexual relationship, there is no such thing called heredity for you, right? Number one. And when the zygote started multiplying, that was the time you were born, and heredity already started acting, no stopping it at all. Heredity has started acting over. So before, nothing. After this, there is nothing. You cannot do anything about it. So this is my height, this is my skin, this is my nose, this is my shoulder blades, and this is the way I am. I cannot change much of them. My daddy has had a heart problem, I will have a heart problem, likely. I'm not saying definitely. My father was short, I'll be short. My father was lean, I'll be lean. If my father was obese or mummy was obese, I'll be obese. If this is the shape of my mummy's nose, I am likely to get a similar kind of shape of my mummy's nose. And if they have had a problem called eyesight problem at 40, 50, I am also likely to get a high problem by 40, 50. There are certain genetic makeup, they can be influenced in the environment. That is the reason why there are schools, there are colleges, there are training programs like this. If nothing can be done about it, we will not be able to do anything about it. There are certain traits. By and large, these are called heredity. And you and I do not have much facility to alter it or change it or modify it. We take it as it is. I cannot become a woman. I am a man, I am a man. A girl is a girl, a boy is a boy. Right? So after that, what happens is there is an external event. External event, as I told you earlier, the childhood experiences. As a child, 0 to 5 years, this is the external environment, meaning people around me, the environment, the family environment and the neighborhood and my friends around, my neighbors around, and my play area, my school area, and the financial position of my mummy, daddy, my mental makeup of my mummy, daddy, all these things are external events. And when you were a child, 5 to 6 years old, I tell you, you did not have any power to influence any external event. Now that you are living in an area and you don't like this area called KK Nagar in Chennai, I can move out to Besant Nagar in Chennai, right? I have a choice. I do not like my organization or I do not like my boss. I can resign my job and go to some other organization, or I can start my own company and start my own business. I have a choice. But 5 to 6 years old boy or a girl, you did not have a choice. Whatever environment was given to you was the environment given to you. You did not have much choice. So, number one, heredity, you did not have much choice. Number two, external event, you did not have much choice. And then there is another one called script. Script is the one you created based on the mental blocks given to you by mummy, daddy. All of us are talking about my mummy is great, my daddy is great, and everybody is talking about this motherhood and Taimai and all those things. I simply say, scientifically calling it, it's called an algorithm, or it is called as oxytocin. Oxytocin is the one which connects people with other people. So mummy had a lot of oxytocin and she gave you that. Because of oxytocin, she started loving you, right? I'm not blaming her. I'm simply saying there is a chemical which is acting on the mummy in order that she picks up the baby and now nurses the baby or gives milk and all, right? So there is a script evolving out of it. And in that context, so I created the script based on the way in which I was living, the way in which I was brought up, right? And I do not know. I wrote the script and then I forgot. And the irony or the beauty is I forgot that I forgot. Supposing I have the cell phone and then I know that I have a cell phone and then I kept it in some room in this place and then I came over to my front room or drawing room and then I started thinking that where did I keep my cell phone? I know I had a cell phone. I know I kept it somewhere. I know it is missing. I know I need to find out. Here I know I'll go about finding out and then I will ultimately find out that it is in the bedroom or in the kitchen. I'll pick it up and come back. But then you wrote a script and the irony is you wrote a script, you forgot, and you forgot that you forgot. Now, if I forgot that I have had a cell phone at all, there will be no need for me. I will not be in a position to go search for this cell phone and find out. So you and I are not going about searching for the script and finding it out, but then the script is still there and it is influencing all the important areas of our lives, right? So it is not consciously visible, but it definitely exerts an influence on our behavior, on our entire life course. It is possible to become aware of your script at the conscious level and also do something about it, provided we get to know that there is one, I wrote it, I forgot, I can find out, I can read through. If it is okay, I will keep it. If it is not okay, I will change it. So that's called scripted decision. So this is the third influence. And the fourth one is autonomous decisions. Auto meaning on my own, autonomous meaning I can think on my own, I can feel on my own, I can act on my own, right? Without coming from my past. My past tells me that I was not okay in the school, I was not okay in the college, I was not okay in the organization. Doesn't matter what happened. Now you can take an autonomous decision, not be influenced by the people around, what they tell you, what they think of me, what they feel about me, or what is happening around me. I am taking a decision coming from the here and now, coming from an adult decision in the TL language, or coming from the here and now in the present moment, also called as mindfulness. So in this area, awareness comes into play, spontaneity comes into play, and intimacy comes into play. I became autonomous. When I am autonomous, I become a winner. I'll come to it step by step. So awareness is what is happening around me, what is there in front of me, what can I do about it, how can I maximize my happiness with things around me, with people around me, with my intellect or strategy, whatever is there inside my head, putting into action. How do I get to know that? Right? I am aware. And then emerges spontaneity, meaning based on whatever data comes to me or whatever stimulus comes to me, I give a response, I do not react. When I react, I come from my past. When I react, I am taking cognizance of everything that has happened earlier about another person's behavior, about my behavior or whatever. So here when I am spontaneous, I am from the here and now. My past is cut off. In the present moment, I am able to take some decisions. I am able to connect with people, relate with people, or communicate with people. Right? And then comes intimacy, meaning I am intimate with people around because I use all my senses properly. My eyes and the nose and the lips and the ears and the skin. All the five senses, I use them properly. And with the result, I am able to connect with people from the here and the now. It's jarring. I'll close the video for a little while. And then I come back. So I am spontaneous, I am intimate with people, I am aware, and I am autonomous, and I am a winner. And the winner is a person who says what he wants to do, and then he does that. He is dependable, he is reliable, he is credible. Right? So the idea is there are four options available to four influences, four factors that are influencing in the creation of the script, meaning number one, heredity. You and I do not have much choice. Number two, external environment. 5 to 6 years, we did not have much choice. And the script evolved, we created the script and we do not have much choice. Now we have a choice saying that I can understand the script, I can be aware of the script, and then I get to know the script and I know the contents of the script, and then I change the script wherever I need to change. So there is a possibility for us to change in the script area, not in the external environment area when you were a child, not in the hereditary area when your mummy daddy had a role to play. And now you can take an autonomous decision. That's the number one area, right? So you have an option. And then comes the other factors that influence the formation of your script or my script or our script. Every one of us has got a script, right? So there are very many factors. Number one, sex of the baby. You could be a boy, you could be a girl, or you could be a transgender also. Right? Sex of the baby decides certain things. And maybe you are the second daughter, or maybe you are the second son, or maybe you are the third son or the third daughter, and then that decided certain things. If you want to know more information about it, go to Birth Order by Alfred Adler, ALFRED, Alfred Adler, ADLER, Birth Order. And he talks about whether you are the first child or the last child or the middle child or the only child. So sex of the baby and this birth order also. And other members in the family, number of people, how many people, and what are their relationships with each other. It could be uncle born with your born with your mummy or a daddy, or it could be a grandfather and grandmother, or it could be your uncle's son and daughter or auntie's son and daughter, if they're also living with you, it's a joint family, like, then that's a different kind of an environment, and wherein you will have more people to play, and more politics will also come into play. The more the number, more the politics. And then the family culture. Your mummy has had a script, your daddy has had a script, and their script got formed by their mummy, daddy. So now there are 6 people to play. In my script, I thought it's my mummy and daddy. Now I get to know mummy has got a mummy, daddy has got a mummy, daddy. So all the 6 people, my mummy, my daddy, my mummy's mummy, daddy, my daddy's mummy, daddy, all the 6 people, they also come into play. Whichever way they were brought up, that's the way they are going to bring up their children. So your mummy or your daddy are bringing you up based on the way in which they were brought up by their parents. And then the permitted feelings and expressions, as I told you earlier, whatever genuine expression that got throttled, that got prevented, that got prohibited, that was not allowed to play, and then whatever emotion that you were permitted, you were allowed to play, and this became your true nature, and you thought this is my true nature, which is not your true nature. So permitted feelings and expressions, they also form a very big role to play in creating your script. And then your social status or social standing or position in life. Meaning, if I am in KK Nagar or if I am in Besant Nagar, then it means that I am in a city, I am in a much better place. There are North Madras, North Chennai is not as favorable as South Chennai, right? So North Chennai is an area where they call as people living in socially a little not okay people. Similarly, Old Delhi is different from New Delhi. New Delhi is much favored location. So where were you brought up? In which location were you brought up? There is a Laila College and there is a Pachepas College, and hardly half a kilometer across, both of them are there. If you study in Laila College, you'll be treated differently. If you study in Pachepas College, you'll be treated differently, right? Similarly, and then comes your financial status. Financial status of your mummy, daddy, both employed or one of them is employed, gainfully employed or favorably employed or status-wise employed. So could be a worker, could be a clerk, could be an assistant, could be a junior manager, could be the vice president, could be the president, could be the regional manager, area manager, divisional manager, whatever, depending on the status of your mummy, daddy, financial position of the mummy, daddy, and the neighborhood and the residential area, and all the conveniences available. KK Nagar, the shopping malls are available, college is available, school is available, and hospitals are available, nice waterworks are available, everything is available. Meaning the environment, did you lack something or did you have everything? And then your parents' upbringing. How did your mummy and daddy were brought up? Maybe in a village, maybe in a suburban area, maybe in a town area, maybe in the city but a downtrodden area, maybe in the city posh area. We do not know the way in which they were brought up. And then the mental blocks that they have given you. Don't be who you are. Don't think what you think. Don't feel what you feel. Don't do what you do. Don't belong here. Don't be lovable, don't be important, don't be asking for everything. So mummy and daddy gave you lots of mental blocks, and the kind of mental blocks that you favorably took it upon yourself and then acted upon it. That's also playing a role. And the life position that you have taken. Life position could be I am okay, mummy, daddy not okay, or I am not okay, mummy, daddy okay, or I am also not okay, mummy, daddy, both of them are also not okay. We're taken it outside, it becomes everybody else is not okay. Meaning very rarely we come across a situation wherein I think I am also okay, I think others are also okay. But what happens is either you take a position, I am not okay, others are okay, or I am okay, others are not okay, or both of us are not okay. And that plays a role in creating the script also. Never trust anybody. Mummy could have told you that. And some other mummy could have said, everybody is good, everybody is lovable, go connect with people, go get along with people, move with people, always trust everybody. Usually we used to say in USA, a little girl, 4 years, 5 years old girl, the school is nearby, nursery school is nearby, and she's got to walk back home, right? So the little girl is walking by, and there is a policeman over there. And the little girl looks at the policeman and says, are you a cop? Cop meaning, are you a policeman? And the policeman says, yeah, I'm a policeman, I'm a cop, right? And then the little girl says, my shoelace got untied. Will you please tie it up? And the policeman bends down and then helps the baby out and he ties up the lace of the shoe properly. And then the girl says, thank you very much, cop. My mummy told me, whenever you have any problem, always contact a cop. Always talk to a cop. Cop will always help you. So in USA, they told you a policeman is a very, very friendly person. Any problem you have, you can always approach a policeman. That's the way the baby was trained. 4 years, 5 years old baby. And the baby all through her life, she thinks all the policemen are okay. All the policemen are top class, very good. Right? In that context, what do we teach in India? What do we teach in Tamil Nadu, Chennai about policemen? Yeah, I'm not going deep into it, but then get to understand. Right? And parents' outlook to life. How do they look at life? Do they look at life as colorful or beautiful or wonderful or worth living? Or are they sulking, or are they complaining, or are they finding fault? Are they not able to cope with the realities of life? Or do they have more problems? Or are they not able to get along with neighbors around? Are they not happy in the family environment? Are they not happy in the organizational environment? We do not know. They also influence the formation of your script. And your friends and social circles also. Who are your friends in the school and in the college and in the social circles? Maybe like Lions Club or Rotary Club or our webinar series or American College or Quality Control Forum or National Institute of Personnel Management or Madras Management Association. What is your position in the social circle? Are you moving in the social circle? Are you being received in the social circle? Do you have friends in the social circles? Do you hold a post in the social circle? It all depends. I am talking about not only you, about your mummy, daddy also, the way in which they were. And when they come from the Lions Club, they come from the Rotary Club, and they come with the gifts and mementos and all. How do we look at, and then how do you look at a social circle? And then parental irritations and parental imitations and parental limitations. What makes your parents get irritated? That they play a role in creating your script. And whatever mummy daddy did, you started imitating mummy daddy. That became your imitation, and that also formed a part of your script. And whatever limitations the mummy daddy have. Supposing you had a pen and you lost your pen, and you asked your daddy, I lost my pen. Will you give me 10 rupees? I'll buy a pen. Daddy said, nothing doing. Only on the first I'll get my salary. Wait for 10 more days. After the 11th day, I'll get you a pen. And then you thought, wow, money is not available and daddy is poor. I will not be able to get whatever I want because my daddy is not okay. Neighbor's daddy is absolutely okay. He is comfortable. She is comfortable. So you have an issue based on the way your mummy daddy are, right? So later, I'll go rapidly one more time. Sex of the baby, birth order, other members in the family, family culture, permitted feelings and expressions, social status and standing, financial standards, your school and the college, your neighborhood, your parents' upbringing, your mental blocks, your life positions, your parents' outlook to life, your friends and social circles, and then your parental irritations, imitations, and limitations. All these things come into play, right? Based on that, you evolved your script. And then in that script, there is a pattern, there is a consistent pattern of behavior. And it is like a movie script. What is a movie? Movie is an area where something starts and something happens in the middle, and something ultimately it ends in a particular way, right? So there is an onset, or there is a beginning, or there is a starting place. And then there is a process, there is a middle, there is a programming, there is some happening, right or good or bad, I do not know. There is some happening in the middle. And then end. End is the climax or the outcome or the predictable outcome or the payoff. That's how a movie is structured. So there will be action, there will be intensity, there will be peak level happening, there will be solution, there will be denouement, there will be proper sequencing of one another scenes, episodes and scenes and acts, and contrived ultimately to the conclusion which has already been decided. It's called, we also say, the content of the story will be, the movie will be, there is a script and there is a story, there is a screenplay, there is dialogue, there is camera, there is location, there is hero, heroine, villain, comedian, and there is a music director, art director, financial producer. All these people are there. They have a role to play. And then you have characters, and you have characters of the characters, meaning this is the way this man behaves or this lady behaves. And there are acts, there are scenes, there are plots, there are themes, there are dialogues, and then surprises, shocks, switches, punishments, necessary punishments, unnecessary punishments. and reasoning or unreasonable horror movies like. So there is a pattern, and this is the way it goes. Right? If it is a more, if I already decided my life is going to be a comedy, it will be full of fun and entertainment. If you think my life is romance, it's full of love. If it is romedy, meaning romantic comedy, is called romedy. Romedy is there will be love and there will be fun. If it is crime, there will be mystery, there will be a thrill, there will be murder, there will be investigation. If it is abnormal or supernatural, psychological, that's how it will go about. There will be science fiction also, space exploration also. There is adventure, there is horror, there is war picture. In the war picture, either all the people will die or all the people will be saved. And there is a sob story or soap opera, meaning right from the beginning till the end, you will be crying, you will be crying. Or it could be dull and boring also. And it can be a documentary also. It can be a tragedy, suffering will be there, and death will be there, bomb blast will be there, people will die, and some people will sacrifice their lives in order to help other people. And it can be an epic or a saga, meaning somebody makes a huge sacrifice in order to save the entire country or the nation or the society or the community. And it can be a financial collapse or scandal or a scam also, right? And it can be upside down, topsy-turvy, meaning you were poor and then you become the greatest, richest man in the world, or you could be the greatest, richest man in the world, and something happened, you become the greatest, poorest person in the world. So it can be a comedy, romance, romedy, crime, mystery, abnormal, science fiction, adventure, war picture, soft story, dull, boring, epic saga, tragedy, upside down, anything can happen in the movie. And whatever the movie's content ultimately is going to be, irrespective of what happened in between, the end will always be the same. Whatever you decided, that will be the end. If you called it as tragedy, it has got to end only in tragedy. If you called it as comedy, it has got to end in comedy. If you called it adventure, there's got to be an adventure or ultimately achieving something. If you called it sob story, you got to cry. If you call it war picture, there has got to be a war, there has got to be murder. If you called it a thriller, there has got to be a crime, there has got to be an investigation, there has got to be a solution. So whatever you already decided as your life will be, that will be the life, that will be the content of the story also, right? In that context, if in case you decided you are going to be a winner, you will become a winner. If you decided you are going to be a loser, no matter what I do, nothing will work. People used to say that, and losers always used to say that. And there could be a third possibility is non-winner, meaning I don't win much, I don't lose much, meaning I somehow manage to survive. I always look at the loser and say, I have not lost and I'm happy because I'm a non-winner. I'll get into some school, I'll get some marks, I'll get into some college, I'll get some marks, I'll get into some office, I'll get some work, and with that I'll somehow manage to survive. I do not have any goals at all, any aspirations at all, anything about my future at all. I somehow manage to get by. It's called non-winner. A loser is a person who, irrespective of what happens in his life, ultimately he moves towards and he ends up with a problem and he ends up in situations which is not okay. We jovially used to say some people have this uncanny knack of identifying where the problem is and ending up exactly in that place. To put it in other words, some people have this uncanny knack of identifying all the people who can help them and go beat them up. Whoever can help you, you will find fault with them, you will quarrel with them, you will fight with them, you will irritate them, and then they will move away. And then you will start telling all the other people, see, nobody is there for me. No one cares for me. Nobody likes me. Nobody loves me. Nobody does anything for me. Look at my lot. My birth date is not okay. My mummy not okay. Daddy not okay. School not okay. College not okay. Teacher not okay. Country not okay. Everything is not okay simply because you have a mindset to lose. That's called a loser script. And there's a winner script. As I told you earlier, winner is a person who is credible, who is trustworthy, who does what he wants to do, and then he goes about doing it, right? So a loser is a person who has got a plan, who plans a lot about how to win, but does not does not put it into action. So he will join an office and get fired by the office. He will become a millionaire and lose all the money. He will become a saint and go to a snowy mountain like Himalayas, and then he will start thinking that this is too cold. I should not have become a saint. I should not have become the Swamiji. I should have remained in Chennai itself in the city with my air conditioning on. So it's okay if you decided to be a saint and you went to Himalayas and you were happy living or being a saint, then you are a winner. If you become a saint, wanted to become a saint, and you became a saint and you went to Himalayas and you felt uncomfortable there, then you are a loser. If you made money million, it doesn't make you a rich person or a wealthy person. If your script says you are a loser, again you will lose the entire money. Doesn't mean you will not win money at all. You will make money, you will lose money. And Joe Wiley used to say, if you play carom board, you will score 25 points straight away. And then you will allow your opponent to score 29 points, one after the other, and then you will lose and you will come out and tell all the other people saying that I scored 25 points, he was in zero. I do not know. It always works that way. Nothing works for me. The stars are not okay. And then he got, the other person got 29 points and he's won the board. Meaning, even if you are in the winning streak, you will block your winning streak, you will kill yourself, you will block yourself, you will be the greatest villain for your performance, and ultimately you will lose and you will justify saying that I'm a loser, right? You will become a leader in the community and then everybody will appreciate you, but then your spouse will say, I'm not going to live with you. She will file for a divorce, or he will file for a divorce, and then you will become a single person, you will become a divorcee. Yeah, I made a huge name in the environment. Everybody is appreciating me. I'm a leader. I'm a social contributor. What happened? My family life got disrupted. So a loser is a person who states everything and who loses ultimately. And then he says nothing is okay. I should have. He keeps saying, telling himself, I should have or I should not have. If only something else happened, or he will say yes, but. It always works, but yes, but it will not. So loser fails to respond automatically, authentically, and then he creates a situation in such a way, he will start 10 different businesses and he will lose in all the 10 different businesses simply because the script says you got to lose. And he will identify all the businesses wherein he can lose, and he will pick up only those kinds of businesses. He will not pick up a profitable business, but then he will justify telling all the other people saying that no matter what I do, stars are not okay, timing is not okay. Kalam Kaligalam, Nalladhu Kalam Illa, Na Yedu Pandalam, Nalla Varade, nothing will work for me. This is the way I am. And then the other set of person is called a non-winner. Non-winner is a person, he doesn't go for big wins because he knows if I go for big wins, I will lose big. So I don't want to go for big wins because I'm afraid of big losses. I will not enter share market because money will come, little money will come, but more money will go. So he will not enter that. And he will even if he plays cricket, he will not score runs. He will play only not to get out. He will block all the balls, and then he will start come out and tell all the other people that no matter what I do, I am not able to score runs. But deep inside the script says, be a non-winner. Non-winner is a person who still plays but doesn't score runs, doesn't get out also. He will look at the other batsman and says, he got duck out. No, I did not go duck out. I have scored 10 runs. How long did you play? You played 1 hour, and then you got all that you got was 10 runs. So he is a non-winner. And even if he becomes a boss in the office, he will always consult other people to make any decision in the office. He will not be independent. He will not be decisive. He will not be taking charge of anything. So the only happiness is my office did not dismiss me. My office did not fire me. When all the other people are unemployed, when the IT sector people, when they make a lot of money and then suddenly one day they got fired, I am not getting fired. I somehow have some money in order to eat some idli, some rice, something to go with. And then he is happy that he is not starving. He is happy that he is paying bills even though equated monthly installments EMIs. So he is not taking any risk. He is somehow managing to get by. And winner is a person who decides what he wants to do in life, and then he gives a price for it, and then he acts on it. He performs. He is genuine. He is authentic. He is believable. He is trustworthy. He is credible. He is genuine, both as an individual and as a member of the family and as a member of the society also. Winners have a lot of potentials, different kinds of potentials, and wherever they play, wherever the opponent plays in a different kind of a game, they rearrange their style in such a way they'll be able to understand the opponent, cope with the opponent, overpower the opponent, and ultimately win the game. The winner has got many strategies. He has got a particular style and he plays in a particular style. Whenever an opponent comes in a different way, they are able to change their strategies and then play in such a way. Ultimately, the top seed in tennis, the top seed will always win because he knows how to change. He is flexible. He is understanding. He is reading the other person. He is able to change himself standing on his feet at that particular point of time. A winner is someone who succeeds in what he sets out to do. Who accomplishes his declared objectives, makes the world a better place for all the people to live in. Not only for him, makes the world a better place for all the people. Someday I'm going to quit my job and I will never work again, he will tell himself. And then one day he will quit the job, he will start the business, or he will make money in such a way, he doesn't need to work anymore at all. If he decides to become a leader, he will become a leader and he will be a happy leader. He will be a contributing, benevolent leader. If he wants to become a millionaire, he will become a millionaire and he will be a happy millionaire. If he becomes a saint, he will become a saint and go to the Himalayas and he will be happy as a saint. So winning also implies a declared objective is achieved or met with happily. Not only winning, he is happily winning, happily performing. The winner always has got additional options and additional choices, and he makes use of all the options and choices. Winner is a person who fulfills his contract with the world and with himself also. Winner says, I made a mistake, I take responsibility, I'll change myself, but he will change himself. He responds authentically by being credible, trustworthy, and responsive and genuine also. So in that context, it is good to be a winner. Now that I know that whatever I do, wherever I go, I am not able to become a winner, or I am not able to become I am always a loser, or most of the time I'm a loser, or most of the time I'm a non-winner. Check it up. Are you a person who goes after joy? Are you a person who goes after happiness? Are you a person who uses his mind? Are you a person who declares himself to be a winner? So, in order to become a winner, what you need to do is identify the repeated things that you do, that they do not work, and then go about changing them. And use a different kind of a roadmap. Change what you do. Whatever you do, if it doesn't work, change. If you do not change your direction now, you will end up exactly where you are headed. Deprogram your mind. Your mind is programmed to act in a particular way. Stop, think a little bit, and be in the here and the now, and think. Forget what has happened in the past. I have failed many a time, doesn't matter. Now I have decided to succeed, and then work on it. Take time off, take a break, and appreciate your imperfections also. I am good in this area, I'm not good in this area, I'm moving out of that area, I'll be focusing more in this area. Wabi sabi, they call it in Japanese style. I am imperfect, I am not perfect. I agree and accept that I am not perfect. I appreciate my imperfections in certain areas, and only in certain selected areas wherein I specialize, I become a perfectionist. In all the other areas, I accept imperfections. I appreciate how people come to me, and then dance slowly and drive slowly and read slowly. And you don't have to do everything in this world. The world doesn't run on your life, on your head. Do not act as chief executive officer of the world. So take time to enjoy, relax, be with nature, relate with people, play with the children, and whatever makes you happy, do those things in the evenings. The organization is something that asks you to do something in the evening, in the Sundays and the holidays. See that whatever you like, you do more of it. And the more you like yourself, the more you are in touch with yourself, more you like your family members, more you like your organization, more you like what you do, then that will make you a winner. So you can be on your own, you can take decisions. You need not necessarily have to be the way you are earlier. Now you can change, you have an option here in the present. Something happened in the past that created the shift, okay. Now that I'm learning, I am in the present, I am taking charge, I am understanding this was the way I am. Now I am taking charge, now I am taking decisions, now I am taking responsibilities, now I am acting differently. I am doing something in the present with the result. My future is going to be the way I want it to be now, today. The future is going to be beautiful. The future is going to be colorful. The future is going to be successful. The future is going to be harmonious. The future is going to be nice and sacrosanct, the way in which I want it to be, because I am taking some decisions in the here and now, understanding my earlier past and cutting it off and coming from the here and now, coming from the present, being spontaneous, being autonomous, being intimate. I am doing whatever I am doing in order to be a winner. I will be a winner. That will be your declaration. Thank you very much. I am done. Questions and interactions. If people could be unmuted, they could ask me questions or interact with me.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful, detailed, the way you narrated the session went very well. And dear friends, if you have any queries, you can unmute yourself, share your observation queries, or you can unmute yourselves, or you can raise your hand, or you can use chat box to share your queries and observations.
Hello, are people there?
Hi, sir.
Welcome, Marie.
You went like you talked to whatever you said, sir, from birth to the end of the life, like that you said. So all we learned how we should rewrite the life and how is, and you explained about that mommy, daddy, university and everything, how the child is growing. Very informative. Lot I learned, sir.
Welcome.
More, I don't have doubts, but I learned thoroughly what is this, because I don't have knowledge about this. So I learned a lot, sir. That's why I don't ask doubts. It's for me, learning sessions are very informative. God bless you, sir. All the best. Most to see you in more sessions this year, sir, with us.
Yeah, we'll do that. Welcome, Mary France. Suganti Vanga.
Sir, good evening.
Good evening.
Vanakkam pola. Can I speak in Tamil, sir?
Yeah, Vanga. Some people may not understand, but most people will understand.
Then I'll try my best. As usual, excellent session, sir. I missed that New Year session of yours, so I want to attend this. I have one doubt in this. How do a child will decide its end before the age of 5, sir? How do we decide how we are going to die before 5 years?
That's what Dr. Eric Burns says. To give you an example, which may or may not be correct, don't take it personally. Our former Chief Minister Karunanidhi decided my life is going to be like that of Periyar at a given point of time, but then the source was earlier, and then it became fruitful or became decisive. And if you check up the life, the lifespan, the duration, the days or the months and the years they lived, you will see that hardly 30 days difference between Periyar and Mr. Karunanidhi. Both of them lived the same quantum of life physically. And Dr. Eric Burns himself, his mummy died when she was 60 years old. When his daddy died when he was hardly 9 or 10 years old. And then he was copying, modeling his mummy totally. And when he was 60 years old, he has had a heart attack and then he died. There's absolutely no reason why Dr. Eric Burns in USA, who is a doctor and a psychiatrist, needed to die by 60 years old. But he created a heart attack and then he died when he was 60 because he modeled his mummy. There are very many examples like this. And based on some inputs by the script, the way in which you were brought up, you would have decided the way you are going to live, the way you are going to die. Right? Sometimes mummy could have said, C-section panni, cesarean பேபி என்னை வயித்தை கட் பண்ணி உன்னை பெத்தம் தெரியுமா, எவ்வளவு ரத்தம் போச்சு தெரியுமா அப்படிம்பாங்க. And then the baby will take a decision that I hurt my mummy in order to be born. People have cut open my mummy's tummy. I created a lot of pain. I don't deserve to live, and they died soon. Mummy conveys it, say, in times of anger or anguish, and then the baby gets a message that it's not okay for me to live. நீ செத்தாதான் நிம்மதி, நீ தொலைஞ்சாதான் நிம்மதின்னு சொல்லிடுவாங்க. And then the baby will take a decision that I'm not okay to be alive. I need to die. I need to die soon. And they also say the middle child, Alfred Adler says the middle child will be the first person to leave the house. Because the first child somehow gets pampered, the third child somehow gets pampered, the middle child doesn't get pampered. And in order to get recognition and appreciation, the middle child will leave the family first. So it's all there. The moment you became a middle child when you are 5 years old, there is an elder brother or elder sister, there is a younger brother or younger sister. At that point in time, you suddenly notice that the elder brother or elder sister is able to take some decision academically better off. And then the younger one is always given love and showered with love and affection. The middle one decides, I need to get out of this place. And the middle one is the one who many a time leaves the house first. Maybe for education, maybe for employment, maybe for marriage, I do not know. But the middle one will leave the family first. Check it out. We take all these decisions by the time you are 5 or 6 years old.
Yes, sir. This one I have checked out, sir. I've heard this in your previous sessions, and I've observed this with a few families which I know, and it's correct, sir. But this one thing, I want to observe this one also. What
Check
happened?
it out. Check it out. Check it out. I will die because of heart attack because I am modeling my daddy. My daddy had a heart attack and he died. So I'll die due to heart attack. I already decided.
Sir,
If some people
you decided after 100 years, sir. You want to hear more sessions from you. not nearly, sir. After 100.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, you
Thank
changed the script, sir. What is this? You can very well do that.
Sir, thank you, Lakshmi. I'll wait. Gayatri, vaanga. Vaanga.
Good evening, sir. You explained very well, sir. So it's very nice. But I got doubt. It is quite similar to psychoanalysis of Sigmund Freud, no?
Yes, that's about psychosexual development. Oral and then the anal and then the penis envy or something, and then latent, and then ultimately it becomes genital. So the first 5 years that gets covered here. Psychosexual
unwanted, undesired emotions will be, this one not transferred to unconscious mind, and
You are right.
they determine their behavior, and so.
That's right. That's the way you are programmed. That is your mummy daddy university. Mummy daddy university is a phrase I coined. You will not find it.
That is the new thing I had. Very nice, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
You might have forgotten consciously, but still it is there in the unconscious. Right? So check up Erik Erikson also for stages of development. Check up Pamela Levin, Pam Levin, P-A-M-E-L-A, Pamela Levin, L-E-V-I-N. Pamela Levin, Erik Erikson, and Dr. Sigmund Freud, and this 5 years of life, early childhood experiences. All of them are similar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Mukundan.
Sir, my takeaway from your lucid explanation is, I mean, we have to be a winner. We can't be a cribber. That is the most important thing, because, I mean, though you talked about death and all in the end, what I feel is, like everyone should lead a winning life. Winning life comes only out of not cribbing on anything and everything, because if you are really talented and if you want to do the course correction, or anybody can do it at any part of the time. And I mean, you have brought in very lot of psychoanalytic theories and all these particular things, which can be understood by anybody, though he is not a student of psychology and all. But the most important takeaway is be a winner. Don't be a cribber. That is the most important thing. That will be the most practical way of living a successful life. That's what I want to say. Conclude.
Good. I fully agree with you. That's the purpose of my talk. Becoming a winner.
Thank you, sir.
Lakshmi, vaanga.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for the session. As usual, என்ன சொல்றது உங்களுக்கு நாங்க எதுவும் சொல்ல முடியாது. இன்னைக்கு practical example கேட்டா Friday evening girls don't cry, Lakshmi is coming. That is the thing. No, practically you will explain.
ஆமா, லட்சுமி தானே, நீங்களாம் கடவுள் தானே.
That's the thing. It's not a coincidence. It's a real experience. Thank you for that, sir. Thank you for your.
Lakshmi. Others, where are? Dr. Lakshmi, you want to say something? Anyone else want to ask something, say something, give a feedback or whatever?
Sir, out of curiosity, what do you do? I mean, do you teach in any college, university?
I'm a trainer, corporate trainer. I go to companies and do training programs, but lately I'm not doing much. But then I give talks in WhatsApp groups. The last 2 years, I have given 300 lectures like this in very many forums. There's a group called Red Fort. I have given 126 talks in the 2 years. Another WhatsApp group called Mind Your Mind with Stephen Raj. I have given 81 talks there in that group. And American College and Associates, I have given 40 talks there. And here in this group, I think it could be 5 or 6. There's a TA community in Trivandrum. I have given about 20 talks. So very many forums, I keep giving talks. 3 or 4 times in a week, I give talks on self-development, psychology and all. I enjoy reading books and I enjoy speaking about it and giving lectures on that, taking my message to large number of people. Whatever I read, whatever I understand, I want to give it to people. Behind me, there are 10,000 books. It's not a green screen. It's real books.
Sir, I just have one doubt, sir.
Yes.
These WhatsApp groups are, you have to become a member or it is any...
Yeah, you can become a member. Take my number, 93810.
1 minute, sir, you are a bit fast.
93810.
Yeah.
34310.
34310, yeah.
Send me a WhatsApp message, hi, and then I'll tell you how to become a member in all these groups.
Sir, I repeat, 93810, 34310.
You're right.
Thank you so much. I'll send a message. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Others, where you are?
Sir, I just have a doubt. So that means astrology is not, we cannot, because they predicted when the child is born itself, no, sir. But everything is created only after that. So how does it correlate, sir?
Astronomy is science. Astrology is an interpretation.
Yes, sir. Astrology.
How do you know the world exists? You know the world exists because of your eyes and the 5 senses, eyes and the nose and the mouth and the ears and the skin. Using 5 senses, you get to understand the world around and then you respond to them, right? So where is the sense for the planets or the comets or whatever there? They are not alive. They do not have consciousness. And what is their business to look at us and what is their business to influence us? And why should they influence us at that time, at the time we were born? Is the moon and the star and the comets and the planets are looking at the lady who is going to deliver in the operation theater or in a bedroom, and then they will come and influence. There is no scientific evidence for that. People believe in them. It's okay to believe in them long as it doesn't affect you. But then giving all credibility to them does not come under science. American Psychological Association does not recognize astrology as a science.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anything else? I'm handing over to Dr. Ravindra. Any other questions or interactions, feedback?
Yes, sir. Vanakkam, sir. So I learned the script analysis from you very long back, maybe a year or year and a half before. By the time itself, I changed my script to winner script. Sincere gratitude, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye.
Dr. Ravindra, you may take over. Thank you very much. I enjoyed being with you all. I enjoyed relating with you or talking with you or communicating with you, and I am so happy that there are people participating and interacting with me. Nice day. We will meet one more time So very likely Mary Florence will ask me to give a talk on another topic by next week or so. I'm excited. Thank you very much. Dr. Ravindra, you can take over.
Thank you, Mutesh sir. It was a very wonderful session, and participants also have interacted in a very interactive way, engaging everyone. And we thank everyone, and we wish you all the success for your future endeavors. We look forward for more sessions in future.
We'll do that.
So, dear participants, quickly fill up the feedback form. It is through which we get the data for issuing certificates. And see you all tomorrow with a different topic at the same time with the same link.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. We are waiting for the participants for the feedback. You may leave at your convenience.
Right. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Dear friends, feedback form has been raised in the form of polls. You can fill the form. It is mandatory. If you require participation certificate, quickly fill up the form before you leave the platform. And for those who do not require e-certificate, this is optional. And we have just 5 minutes. I will not get into much detailed commemoration, but we have today World Day for War Orphans. Globally, millions of children are orphaned due to war, and they are subjected to life of hardship and emotional and physical neglect. So this day was created by the French organization SOS Enfants and Détresses to raise awareness about their suffering and to better their future. And losing a parent is very difficult, but losing a parent due to war is even worse. UNICEF defines an orphan as any child under age of 18 who has lost one or both parents to any cause of death. And in the wars that took place during the last few centuries, roughly half of the victims were civilians, a number of that gradually increased until 2001. As of 2015, there were nearly 140 million orphans globally, including 61 million in Asia, 52 million in Africa, 11 million in Latin America and the Caribbean, and 7.3 million in Eastern Europe and Central Asia, according to the UNICEF. So the problem is the children who have lost their parents in untimely, harsh incidents like war are forced to stay with a surviving family member, or they enter into the foster care system and face poor conditions like malnutrition and disease. The emotional and mental stress they endure is unimaginable. Orphan numbers are lower in developed countries, but are much higher in places that have been subjected to wars and epidemics. Some children, however, lose their parents by getting separated from them during the course of war. So this day is a day to create awareness, and a lot of programs take place to give people a better understanding of the plight of orphan children are forced to face. And apart from that, we have another commemoration, National Take a Poet to a Lunch Day. Basically, this is out, appreciation and support for their work. So take them out for a great meal, or it's basically expressing, a thank or a gratitude to them. So you can express them in a various way, especially like the preferred activity on this day is, take them for lunch or offer some good food. As this day is dedicated to appreciating poetry, by taking a poet, out to lunch, we cannot accurately track the history of this day. Epic poems were some of the first to be ever written. They are lengthy narrative poems which discuss the extraordinary doings of the people in a time beyond living memory. The mostly involved gods or superhuman forces and gave shape to the mortal universe. This allowed their descendants to understand themselves as a people or nation. Another form of poetry developed directly from folk songs, with the earliest entries in the oldest collection of Chinese poetry, the Shijing being lyrics initially. It was compiled by the philosopher Confucius, is considered to be one of the official Confucian classics. The study of aesthetics of poetics, came to be when ancient thinkers found it difficult to determine what poetry distinctive as a form and what distinguished good poetry from bad poetry. So Aristotle's Poetics described three genres of poetry: the epic, the comic, and the tragic. It developed rules to distinguish the highest quality poetry in each genre. Later, aestheticians identified three major genres: epic poetry, lyric poetry, and dramatic poetry. And comedy and tragedy became subgenres of the dramatic poetry. This is all in the Western context. And we have our own, based on the language, uh, based on each language, we have different kinds of poetry and different set of rules and regulations. And today is also National Shortbread Day. The high-fat, melt-in-your-mouth buttery treat is Scotland's best gift to the world, baked without leavening components such as baking soda or powder. The dense and rustic texture of this incredible dessert stands out as a remnant of the holiday spirit. Bake the Scottish delight in your home on this day. And today is also National Cuddle Up Day. Some of the coldest temperatures of the year, it is a great excuse to warm up by cuddling with the closest to you. Plus, if you have a fireplace and cozy blankets, it's even a better. So find a partner and get ready to cuddle up. And today is also National Bean Day, also called as National Dry Bean Day in US. The same day, the famous genetist Gregor Mendel died in 1884. Mendel used bean plants and pea plants to develop theories on genetics in plants. So the formation of National Bean Day has more to do with the scientific development than how good bean recipes taste. But it doesn't deter you from enjoying eating beans on this holiday. So beans certainly aren't the only ingredient in chili, but as a serious chili cook knows, finding the right beans is the key to bake or break your recipe. The first chili cook-off took place in 1967 in Texas. So cooks have had plenty of time to perfect their techniques and find the best kind of beans to use. And if you like vegetarian, chili beans will be the primary ingredient. So try a few different types of beans or add some different ingredients to give your baked beans recipe a unique flavor. And if it helps, you can even sing the magical fruit song while cooking your recipe. Dried beans are great in recipes, but they also work really well for creating craft and art projects for kids. So you could create a mosaic that includes a variety of seeds and different sizes and colors of beans. This can be a lot of fun for kids, and beans art. Put macaroni art to shame, especially on this day. And beans are economical source of protein. If you are looking to save a bit of money on your food bill and remain highly nutrient and meet nutritional requirements, beans are among the most cost-effective foods that you can eat and provide to your family. And if you are looking for a source of protein that's quite a bit cheaper than any other meat products, beans are the answer. A cooked beans weigh is between 6% to 11% protein. So beans are good alternatives for those, especially for vegetarians, who can easily replace the meat products with beans, because beans provide enough proteins as much as the meat products can provide, being a cruelty-free lifestyle without hurting, killing, or eating any animals or birds. And today is also Apple Tree Day. From cider to pies, the apple is greatly versatile fruit with tremendous health benefits and a mouth-watering taste. Although they don't need any extra marketing, apples still deserve the annual recognition for being the quite essential American fruit found in our homes throughout the years. So mull the cider and fill your homes with that sweet aroma as we come together to celebrate this great day. And today is also National Takedown Christmas Tree Day. Hope our Christian friends who had, placed Christmas tree in their houses have already taken it. If not, so this is a day and the perfect day to end to the season. It's the last day of 12 days of Christmas and encourages us to finally let go of the holidays, take down trees and usher in Epiphany. So Epiphany is also one of the holidays in the West, in US, where this is a day to receive a lot of gifts. So with this, we shall conclude today's commemorations, though there are various other commemorations, but due to time constraints, we are limiting ourselves. So see you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.